Hey, good day to you. This is Todd. I'm just a regular dude walking in the Word. Today, we are continuing our journey through the book of Mark. We're going to be reading Mark 12, verses 13 through 17. We're dealing with taxes today. Oh boy. Everyone wants to talk about taxes. So let's read. And if you remember when we're reading through this, Jesus had just cast out, cleansed the temple. And then yesterday we talked about how the day before yesterday actually, how the Pharisees came and said, whose authority, are you doing this under? And then and they're always trying to test Jesus. And then Jesus gives them the parable of the talents, their tenants yesterday. And then today we're talking about taxes, and it's because these guys, there's different guys coming to test Jesus. So they, one group fails, so they send some different guys. Like, oh, you can't trip him up. Let's send Billy Bob to go trip him up, and Billy Bob can't do it. So then Johnny can do it, and then Sarah can do it. Well, not Sarah, but anyway, let's see here. It says, later they sent some of the Pharisees and Herodians to Jesus to catch him in his words. All right, now it's gotten so bad that the Pharisees and the Herodians are teamed up to try and catch him in his words. The Herodians and the Pharisees didn't work together ever, but now they're trying to trip up Jesus, so they're working together to try and trip him up, okay? They're a common enemy against Jesus. Verse 14, they came to him and said, "Teacher, we know that you are a man of integrity. You aren't swayed by others because you pay no attention to who they are. But you teach the way of God in accordance with the truth." I'm going to stop there. What they're doing is they're giving a whole bunch of flattery, okay? They didn't think of him as a teacher before, but they're talking about how great a teacher he is here, okay? So they're saying teacher, and you're a man with integrity, and going on and on and on about how great Jesus is, trying to trip him up. And then they say this, "But you teach the way of God in accordance with the truth." And then they ask the question, is it right to pay the imperial tax to Caesar or not? Should we pay it or shouldn't we? But Jesus knew their hypocrisy. "Why are you trying to trap me?" he asked. Can you imagine? You think you're trapping Jesus. And he goes, "Why are you trying to trap me?" He can see right through their schemes. "Bring me a denarius," he said. "Let me look at it." So they brought a coin, and he asked them, "Whose image is this? Whose inscription?" "Caesar's," they replied. Then Jesus said to them, "Give to God what is God's." And they were amazed at him. Oh, some more amazing things going on here. They were amazed at this. The tax, Jesus said, "Bring me a coin." So I have a coin here. We often say heads and tails on it. And that's when Jesus said, "Whose head is on it?" And then he said, "Give to Caesar what's Caesar's and God what's God's." The taxes, just in case, I'm going to give you a little history of what kind of taxes they were paying back then. Let me find it here. So the taxes back then is this. It disappeared. Here it is. There's 3 taxes imposed by the Romans on Judea, okay? And Judea naturally didn't want to pay taxes to the Romans because they hated the Romans, okay? It'd be like Russia coming in and invading the United States, and they say, okay, now you got to pay 50% tax. No one's going to be excited about paying taxes to Russia, okay? So, and this was happening since this year 6 AD, that the Jews were forced to pay taxes directly to the emperor's treasury. Okay, so there was 3 taxes imposed by the Romans on Judea. The first was the ground tax, which was 10% of all grain and 20% of all wine and fruit. Okay, the second was an income tax, which was about 1% of a man's income. Okay, that's on top of that. And then the third tax was a poll tax paid by men ages 12 to 65, and then women ages 14 to 65. This was 1 denarius a year, about a day's wage for a laborer. Okay, so I think our taxes are higher now because we pay. I forget what day it is. You figure every day there's like a certain day, and I forget when it is now, but it's like this is tax-free day. From these days on, I don't have to basically pay taxes because from this point on, all I'm doing is paying taxes. So Jesus says, "Show me a coin, and whose head is on the coin?" And they go, and you can see the coin here. And they said, "Well, it's Caesar is on the coin." And Jesus said, "Well, pay to Caesar what is Caesar's, and pay to God what is God's." And that blew them away. They were amazed at his answer. They thought for sure they had him tripped up, but no, they didn't. It points out also that God has said that we need to not ignore like our responsibilities here, and just focus on godly things. We are quick to do that sometimes. So for me, the issue is not necessarily about paying taxes because it doesn't come out automatically, but a lot of our paychecks, it comes out automatically and stuff. But it's the time, for me, the big issue is the time to prepare the taxes. All the income taxes, doing all that stuff, and I've got to pay the accountant, and I've got to do, reconciliations on the bank statements and all that stuff, and the business, and then the personal stuff. So it takes me a long time to do all that. I got to keep good bookkeeping, which I'm not that great at, but I got to do good bookkeeping throughout the year, and then at the end of the year, prepare all this stuff and get it all ready. That's where I'm weak. Okay, so anyway, and I will find like everything else possible to do before I do my taxes. That's just me. If you would say, "Hey, you want to rearrange your sock drawer?" Yeah, I'd love to rearrange my sock drawer, before I prepare my taxes. So this parable is speaking to me because it's telling me I need to actually spend my time in preparing my taxes and not ignore it and go. And we can be quick to do this too. All right, hey, my wife can go, "Hey, Todd, have we done the taxes yet? We need to get those done." And I'll go, "Oh no, I'm reading the Bible. I'm spending time with God," and act all pious and not do that. But in reality, I need to be, taking care of the taxes and then spending time in God's Word. So the point was, Jesus was saying, pay to Caesar what's Caesar's, and then pay to God what's God's. No, don't ignore either one. So that's my encouragement today. Don't act all high and pious and like, "Oh no, I can't do those things." God wants you to be responsible here, okay? And then also to not forget about Him, but pay your tithe and the other things and spend time with God. So, all right. Interesting passage for today, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. We're going to continue our journey through the book of Mark, and I will see you tomorrow. Blessings. Hey, this is Todd. I'm just a regular dude walking in the Word. I am sitting with the winner, Marv Stoltzfus. He guessed where the place was, and it was at, what was the name of the church? I forgot the name of the church. Anyway, it's up at the end of Clark Road and Hawkins. Yeah, that church, I forget the name of it. But they have a little place behind the church there that is a good rock area to get your wedding done or whatever. Hang out if you want to go fishing. And so, my father, Marv Stoltzfus, got his $20. So congratulations. Hey!
Thank you. Thank you very much.